Hello everyone and welcome to the return of Centipede Geek's Horror News Update. If you don't know what this is, it's an episode series that I did back when I first started my YouTube channel back in March of this year in 2012. I talked about horror films, I talked about all the latest news going on with horror television series and movies and books and sometimes video games and just all kinds of stuff, all revolving around horror. And then occasionally I'd have something new, that maybe Dark Knight Rises and stuff like that didn't revolve around horror. But anyways, this is the return episode for my horror news update, first episode. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I will be doing these once a week. Not for sure which day yet, but be on the lookout for at least one a week. And I have many things to talk about today, so I do not have the links right in front of me, so I really can't read the content out to you. So I'm just going to do my best to sum up what each article said. And if you guys are curious, you'll just have to Google, what I am saying. Anyway, so the first thing I have to talk about, like I said, some of these things are old. Like, I'm going to recap of what happened and probably the past 3 and even 4 months ago. So it's going to be, some of this stuff is going to be, a month or two old, and then some of the stuff, was just released, in the last week or two, and even yesterday. So, a lot of this stuff is just, it kind of varies. So the first thing I have on the list today, I have roughly almost 30 or 40 different items today, so this might be a long episode. First thing today was Dracula 3D. I'll talk about this a while back, one of my first episodes. Dracula 3D is a horror film about Dracula, of course. In the trailer, it's pronounced Dracula. It's pronounced in a different manner. So anyways, directed by Dario Argento, who's known for Suspiria and Deep Red, and, his The Three Mothers trilogy. Well, he did this Dracula 3D movie, and it is going to be released in 2013. There's a teaser trailer now up. There's also an official trailer now up. But the reason I want to bring it up is the distribution company, IFC Independent company IFC has now picked that up, and they will be the ones distributing Dracula 3D. So make sure to pick that up whenever it comes out in 2013. The trailer looks pretty cool. I thought Dracula 3D looked fairly decent. Let's see. This is also a 2013. This next one. There is a new picture up, a new still up of Robert Rodriguez's Machete Kills coming out next probably summer, probably May or sometime around then. Anyways, the new picture is up. It has Danny Trejo sitting on the couch, and has Amber Heard from John Carpenter's The Ward sitting on top of him. Looks like they're going to have some kind of romantic scene. Anyways, Open Road, the distribution company, has now picked up Machete Kills, and they will be the ones behind Machete Kills. Once again, that's Open Road. Now this next one is Poltergeist is in the works of getting a remake. There was a little rumor going around that Sam Raimi was going to direct it, but I just want to squash that rumor first off, that he is not going to direct the Poltergeist remake, but a remake is in production as of right now. Ghostbusters 3 might begin, this is a rumor, might begin filming in the summer of 2013. So, what do you guys think about the Ghostbusters 3? Bill Murray is not, I'm not too keen or fond, or I don't know too much about the previous Ghostbusters 1 and 2 films, so I don't really know how to feel about 3, but I do know Bill Murray is not going to be involved for 3. He's done with the Ghostbusters series and franchise. So anyways, like always, feel free to comment on the comment bar below and let me know what you guys think about all these articles. Are you interested in some of these things? Are you not interested? Just let me know. Nice little discussion going. Next is this came on last Wednesday, and episode 2 comes on tomorrow, and that is the pilot of American Horror Story Season 2 Asylum has now premiered. It premiered last Wednesday, and episode 2 comes on tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th of October. So I loved the pilot. Really cool. One of the great things about the pilot of episode 2 of American Horror Story Asylum is that every character is corrupted. Our first season, we had a nice little house, a nice setting. You had drama. You had some good characters in there, but they were all kind of they were all still kind of twisted in a way. But the second season seems that they're going all out. They're pulling off all this crazy stuff going on, and they're making every character in the season so far, at least with the first episode. It looks like the Zachary Quinto character might be a good guy, but besides him, everyone else in American Horror Story Season 2 Asylum seems corrupt. That's what I love about it. Everyone's corrupted. It's just, I love that about it. I love Season 2, the pilot, beat Season 1 already, so I can't wait to see more. The 666 Park Avenue is now 4 episodes into its series, and episode 5 will premiere this Sunday at 9 o'clock on Channel 8, if you want to check that out. So anyway, 666 Park Avenue kind of revolves around a haunted motel. I've been watching it weekly. It's not an amazing series. It's kind of a hit and miss sometimes. But recently, 4 episodes in, it's really started. At first, it kind of didn't know what it wanted to do, but now it's found a nice, solid ground and setting. So I think it's really starting to become something. 4 episodes in, though, I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10, maybe even an 8. Because so far, 666 Park Avenue is definitely one to check out for you horror fans out there. Revolution. This is not horror. J.J. Abrams, the producer of the NBC Channel 2 series of Revolution, is now, I believe, I think it's 5 or 6 episodes in, and I've also been watching that weekly, and that is a great series. No episode came on last Monday because of the presidential debate, but I think it's the 6th episode will premiere next Monday. It's going to have one so far. I'm sure it'll get a second season because it's so popular, but it's going to run for at least 22 episodes for the first season, probably split up into 2 premieres, but 2 runnings, But Revolution, a phenomenal series. A lot better than 666 Park Avenue. Not as good as American Horror Story, but Revolution is worth a watch. It's great, good stuff. More TV series. TNT develops a modern Frankenstein series based on the books. So what do you guys think about a modern day Frankenstein series that will come on the channel TNT? What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment bar below. Frankenstein sounds interesting. I'd check it out. I'm not too picky. The 9th article today. The Evil Dead trailer, the official trailer, premieres tomorrow. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. It's actually about almost 2 a.m. in the morning, actually, where I'm at. So I guess it'll premiere in a few hours. But I watched the bootleg footage of the trailer I think it was about a week or 2 ago, and it looks great. It looks like it's going to be a really well done and professional remake. So I can't wait. It looks really cool. But the legit non-bootleg one official comes out tomorrow in the high quality HD footage. Anyways, the Carrie teaser trailer is now also up. This one looks really cool. It looks like I personally have read the Stephen King novel Carrie, and just so you guys know, the original film and the book itself are vastly different, especially the way characters end up and the ending itself, the way Carrie is. It's so much different. The book is a lot better. The movie is good, by no means. I love the original movie, but the book and the movie are vastly different. Well, it looks like the remake is going to go more along the book's trope and the book's storyline, so it'll be a back and forth, hopefully a back and forth kind of thing where it shows interviews and stuff like it did with the book, so you kind of learn about Carrie through that fashion. You even learn about it when she was a little kid. And the teaser trailer is real nice. It's got some narration going on. That narration is straight from the book and quotes, so it's really cool. Check that out. The Munsters TV series is getting a reboot. It was going to reboot as a television series titled Mockingbird Lane, but instead they decided just to do a 1-hour long Halloween special that will premiere this Sunday on Channel 2, NBC, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central, I believe, or maybe 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central. Either way, it's going to premiere on Channel 2, 7 or 8, depending on where you live. So anyways, like I said, Mockingbird Lane, you have Jerry O'Connell, Eddie Izzard, I forget some of the other actors' names, but it's kind of a modern-day version of the Munsters. The teaser trailer is now up, and there's also a clip up of Mockingbird Lane, a reboot of the Munsters back in the 50s and 60s, black and white series. But anyways, it looks really cool. I think it looks like a kind of a really cool series. if enough people tune in and watch it, NBC will pick it up and hopefully renew it for a first season sometime in probably early of 2013 next year if enough people watch it, because they spent literally $10 million. That's a low budget movie. That's a huge amount of money on a pilot episode. They spent $10 million on that pilot, so I'm really hoping that they'll renew it, or that enough people will tune in. I'll be seeing Silent Hill, but I will definitely have that recorded on my DVR so I can watch it at a later time. James Wan, who directed Saw, his movie The Conjuring was going to come out January of 2013, but it reluctantly got pushed back to July 19th of 2013. It'll still come out, but I believe it's about evil spirits. The guy who directed Saw and Insidious and stuff like that. He now did The Conjuring, and it's about evil spirits and they haunt a house and that kind of thing. It looks, there's not really too much about it besides no screenshots or anything, just a little plot synopsis, so you really can't tell too much. Scott Derrickson, who recently did Sinister, and if you want to know my full review on Sinister, go ahead and go watch my review. But I thought Sinister was okay. It's pretty scary, but it was very underwhelming. Scott Derrickson, who directed Sinister and The Exorcism of Emily Rose, is on to his next project titled Breathing Method. Breathing Method is a Stephen King short story about a woman who is having a hard time having a baby, and she decides that even though she's having a hard time, to go ahead and have the child anyways. I'm not for sure if it's a horror novel. I'm not for sure if it's a drama. I haven't read it, so I don't know. But that is Scott Derrickson's, director of Sinister, his new movie coming out in the next few years, titled The Breathing Method. Silent Hill is having a sequel, as I'm sure many of you know, coming out this Friday, titled Silent Hill Revelation 3D. It looks great. This looks really cool. It looks like it has some connection with the original Silent Hill, but it looks like they're kind of just picking up a little bit off where it has like 2 or 3 previous actors. But besides that, if you haven't seen the original Silent Hill, I don't think you're going to be missing out on too much. I did love the original Silent Hill, but I don't think you're going to be really missing out on too much if you haven't seen it, because I think this one's going to be really cool and a lot better. Also, Paranormal Activity 4 premiered last Friday. Paranormal Activity 5, of course, if you watched my review of 4, I wasn't too fond of it. Anyways, of course, Paranormal Activity 5 has been greenlit for October of 2013. These are going to be like the Saw films. Saw films I did like, but this is our next Saw in the sense that we're going to get one every October, and I guess Saw had 7 films, ending with Saw the Final Chapter, or Saw 3D, whatever you want to call it, Saw 7. Let's see how far Paranormal Activity gets. How far do you guys think it'll get? Let me know in the comment bar below. Grave Encounters 2 recently premiered on video on demand and stuff like that, and pay-per-view and all those kind of good things. And I thought, if you're curious, go watch my review. But I thought Grave Encounters 2 was a really great film, directed by John Palaquin, and that was a real cool one. I really liked that. Also, that premiered recently, about a month or so ago, on video on demand, was a horror anthology with 5 different segments, one by Ty West and some other people, by the name of VHS. I haven't uploaded a review of that yet, but I have seen it, and that is one of the best horror films to come out this year. It was phenomenal. I loved it. Every second of it. It was amazing. It was pretty creepy too. It was good stuff. The Hitchcock trailer, starring a lot of people, Scarlett Johansson, of course, Anthony Hopkins playing as Alfred Hitchcock himself, and just a lot of people. It talks about the making and behind the scenes of getting Psycho to be released and all the controversy behind the film itself, since it was kind of the first of its kind. Hitchcock, the trailer is now up, and there's also a little texting thing where it has Anthony Hopkins portraying Hitchcock in a little teaser trailer, and he says, how he doesn't like texting during a movie. It's really fun. It's a little 30-second little clip, and it's hilarious. Talking about texting during a movie, and it's funny. Anyways, the trailer's now up, and it looks pretty cool. It looks real nice. I haven't even seen Psycho yet, honestly, but it looks cool, and I will be watching Psycho very soon. We're about halfway through the list now. I'm trying to run through this somewhat fast, since there's so much to talk about. The Lords of Salem, Rob Zombie's newest film, who did Halloween, Devil's Rejects, House of the of course, so there's tons of stuff. Anyways, the Lords of Salem trailer is now up, and let me tell you, it looks strange as can be. I don't even know what to think of it, but either way, it looks pretty awesome and pretty phenomenal. That's only guessing from the trailer, though. We won't know until the film comes out. Anyways, it's expected for a 2013 release date sometime next year. Hopefully early next year, though. But anyways, Anchor Bay has also picked up the rights to it, and Anchor Bay will be distributing the DVD whenever it decides to come out. I'm pretty excited for that one, though. And next on the list, this is kind of a way next year thing, but Toy Story is going to have a little short called Toy Story of Terror that will premiere in theaters next Halloween, so Halloween of 2013. I'm not going to talk about that too much because it's a long time away. This is a little older article, but the remake of the film that Elijah Wood is starring in, titled Maniac, IFC also recently picked up that. IFC picked up a lot of good stuff, Maniac, Dracula, and a few other things. Anyways, IFC has picked up distribution rights for Maniac, and that'll also be coming out in 2013. There's also a trailer out for Maniac, so make sure to go check that out. The original starred Joe Spinell, I believe. And ABCs of Death premieres on video, I believe, limited theaters. ABCs of Death, if you don't know what it is, it's a horror anthology about a little over 2 hours long, with 26 of the world's most, indie horror directors, from Ty West to the man who did Dead Girl, to the guy who did Hobo with a Shotgun, to the guy who did The Divide, and then the guy who even did Tokyo Gore Police is also there. All these, indie horror directors all came to do ABCs of Death. They each get to do a 4 to 5 minute little horror anthology segment where they have a title, a letter like an A, and the first one I believe is called A is for Apocalypse, and then Ty West is called M is for Miscarriage, and they pick a title, and then they have a character in that segment die in a certain twisted and gruesome and sick way, and that's ABCs of Death. Anyways, Magnet is a company is distributing that, and it looks pretty cool. No trailer out or anything like that because it'd be kind of hard to do with all those 26 different segments. Anyways, November 2nd, limited theaters, and should be coming to video on demand and other online sites soon. Be on the lookout for that. I believe the guy's name is Marcus Dunstan, who did The Collector, and he also wrote the last 4 Saw films. His sequel, The Collection, comes out Black Friday, November 30th, I believe. And the trailer for The Collection, the sequel to The Collector, is now up. So make sure to check that one out. Once again, it comes out November 30th of this year, Black Friday. Daniel Radcliffe is going to star in a new kind of horror film, kind of a horror drama by the name of Horns. Horns should come out sometime in 2013, I believe, maybe 2014, but I'm pretty sure it'll come out in 2013. Anyways, Horns revolves around Daniel Radcliffe's character, famous for playing Harry Potter, of course, and recently A Woman in Black. So anyways, he goes to a party one night. He wakes up with these horns on his head. He's not for sure why they are there, but he kind of gets involved with this girl, and it's kind of a horror film. I thought it was interesting because he's starting to grow horns out of his head. It sounded kind of different, kind of strange, but I'll definitely be checking it out. William Dafoe, from who played Green Goblin, Spider-Man, and Antichrist, tons of stuff, and Shia LaBeouf, from Transformers, is going to be in a new film by the name of Nymphomaniac. And forgive me if I pronounce that wrong, but it's a film done by Lars von Trier, who's famous for doing a lot of controversial films, recently Antichrist. Anyways, this Nymphomaniac is going to be released in 2 different parts, a Nymphomaniac Part 1 and Nymphomaniac Part 2, and it's a really controversial movie where Shia LaBeouf supposedly is really going to have sex in. Like when you watch him have sex in the movie, he's actually going to be having sex. I know Nicole Kidman was cast as that girl, but she recently dropped out, and I don't know if there's a girl yet to replace Nicole Kidman, but she is no longer going to be in it. The girl from Antichrist that is usually in Lars von Trier's movies, I believe her name is Charlotte Gainsbourg. I believe she will also be in Nymphomaniac Part 1 and Nymphomaniac Part 2, so make sure to check those out. We have some Scary Movie 5 news. Mike Tyson joins the cast of Scary Movie 5. Remember, that's going to spoof Black Swan. That's the main plot is Black Swan. You got Planet of the Apes. It's going to spoof, and Final Destination, Paranormal Activity, 127 Hours. It's going to spoof a lot of things. Hannibal, the TV series, is now that will premiere on NBC. has now have a full cast, and that is the main characters will be Lawrence Fishburne from The Matrix, Hugh Dancy, Mads Mikkelsen from Casino Royale, and then Ellen Green will be starring in that. Recently, this was about almost 2 months ago, I saw A House at the End of the Street starring Jennifer Lawrence, and for my full review, go check that out on my channel page. It's titled Centipede Geek. So anyways, I thought House at the End of the Street was a pretty decent movie. Not amazing, but I thought it was pretty good. It was kind of a different, and it was a nice fresh take on the genre of horror, I thought. Only PG-13, they could have went a little further with the blood, but I thought it was pretty good. You know, I did enjoy it more than Sinister, I enjoyed it more than The Apparition, though I enjoyed The Possession the most out of all those. Dead Snow 2 is now in the hopefully rumored of being in the works. It will be shot, if it is, it'll be shot in Norway once again. A lot of people thought that it was going to be shot in America and have a big American release date, I thought at least. But it will have some American involvement, but it will be in the Norway language again, shot in Norway, of course. Anyways, Dead Snow 2. The trailer for Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters is now up. It comes out, I believe, January 20th or 13th. It's sometime in January of next year. The trailer is now up, and it looks really cool. I really hope a Red Band trailer comes out, because I really feel like Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter could benefit from that. They're both done, Dead Snow and Hansel and Gretel are both done by Tommy Wirkola, a Swedish director. Or Norwegian director. I don't know why I said Swedish. Norwegian director, my mistake. I Spit on Your Grave 2 is now in the works of having I Spit on Your Grave is now in the works of having a sequel, I guess, titled I Spit on Your Grave 2, and the plot is pretty much the same as the original. These three guys do the same thing they did in the original, but except this time they're going to bury her alive overseas into some other country, and then she's going to, of course, live and exact her revenge on them. Sounds like one, right? Kind of a pointless sequel, if you ask me, but let me know what you guys think in the comment board below. Guillermo del Toro, forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong, but Del Toro is what I like to call him, who did Pan's Labyrinth and Hellboy franchise, is producing a horror film in January of next year titled Mama, and it's pretty much about these two girls who are out in this cabin. They've been there by themselves for 5 years, and this guy comes in and his guy and his girlfriend come in to take care of them. And they're talking, they're talking about how their mom is talking to them. They're talking to the walls, and they're acting very primitive. And so it looks pretty good. Anyways, it comes out January of 2013. The director of Troll Hunter, also a Norwegian film, is going to direct a film by the name, his next project is a film by the name of Enormous, and it's based off a famous graphic novel with the same name. So be on the lookout for that. Just a few more articles here, and then I will be wrapping this up. We also have more news on Texas Chainsaw of 3D. I guess they have dropped off the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because now on all the teaser posters I just see Texas Chainsaw 3D. I don't know, is it called Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D? Who cares? Either way, Texas Chainsaw 3D, I think it's still called Massacre, I'm not really for sure, but on the article I looked, they just titled it Texas Chainsaw 3D. Either way, apparently it will have some sort of Saw. One of the people that helped make Saw is now writing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, I believe, and now there will be some sort of reference to Saw, so I thought that was kind of cool since I'm such a big Saw fan. They have the rights to make at least 6 films with the Texas Chainsaw 3D franchise, so we will be seeing a lot. If this one is successful, plan to see a lot more of these in the next few years. I think that's awesome for our horror franchise to live on. Also, Dan Yeager plays, of course, Leatherface. The original star is going to come back, the original girl, for a cameo. The same man who played the grandpa in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is also going to play the grandpa in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, coming out in January of 2013, next year. So that's kind of cool. We also have a Bill Moseley, who was in Texas Chainsaw 2, will play, what's his name? Drayton Sawyer. He'll play Drayton Sawyer in Texas Chainsaw 3D. He played, as we know, Chop Top Sawyer in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The There's a few other things on it that I forget, but anyways, that comes out in January of next year. And this next one is kind of irrelevant, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about it. Recently, I have watched Interview with the Vampire starring Tom Cruise, Kristen Dunst, and then Brad Pitt, and that was an amazing. Love that movie. Phenomenal. It's so amazing. Does everything. So many genres. Horror, betrayal, love. It's just so many great things. Anyways, I didn't know this, but I found out that Queen of the Damned was a sequel to that. And apparently, I know Queen of the Damned is hated by a lot of people. It's not anything like Interview with the Vampire. Different actors and everything. It's a different movie in general. Even Anne Rice, who wrote the books, hates the movie. She likes Interview with the Vampire, though. So anyways, a sequel. This is back from February of 2012 this year. So take this information with a grain of salt. But anyways, as of February of this year, some while months ago, a sequel to Queen of the Damned is being planned. To further the Vampire Chronicles, the Interview with the Vampire started back in the 90s. So anyways, I thought that was kind of strange that all of a sudden out of nowhere Queen of the Damned was being picked up, though that article was back from February. So anyways, this video wasn't actually too long. I actually planned it to be about an hour long, but I made sure to get to the articles very quickly and hastily. So anyways, this concludes my return of Cinepede Geeks, a horror news update. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will make sure the links will probably not be below because I talked about 35 different articles today, and it would just take way too long to look up all 35 links and put all those down below. But next week, I will be back on schedule, I'll probably go ahead and do these every Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and say every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, sometime by midnight, they should all be up, my new horror news update. So every Tuesday, I'll be doing a new horror news update episode talking about all the latest stuff, and I'll make sure to keep updated with sites like Fangoria. If you guys are curious to what sites I use sites like Fangoria.com, Rotten Tomatoes, Horror-Bid, Horror Asylum, HorrorMovies.ca, but mainly Horror-Bid and Fangoria.com, and occasionally I use RottenTomatoes.com. And then sometimes, certain other movies. There's also there's a few more things I want to go ahead and mention. These aren't horror related at all. But supposedly, Nicolas Cage is interested in starring in a Left Behind reboot franchise. That was kind of weird that Hollywood is picking the Left Behind movie. Anyways, I thought that was kind of weird and odd. That's rumored, though. Another thing is that the trailer for Iron Man 3 is now up, and the picture of the villain is now up. Let's see. There's a few other things that I can't think of at the moment. Recently, I saw Frankenweenie, and I thought that was okay and decent. Not amazing, but not horrible. There's some great ideas in there, but... Oh, a CGI adaptation of the Peanuts comic, Charlie Brown, is being planned to be put on the big screen in 2015. This is a long time away, but in 2015, we will be for sure be seeing Charlie Brown, but it's going to be CGI animated. That's a little strange. They should have just stuck with hand-drawn animation, if you ask me, but what can you do, right? The Family Circus comic strip is also being animated, so I thought that was kind of strange. That's odd. I mean, it's just one little comic. It's just like one little strip. It's not split up into squares. So how are you going to turn that into a full hour-and-a-half long movie? Hollywood can do anything, right? Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode. Once again, thanks to all of my subscribers. Thank you to all of you that watched the full 30 minutes. And even if you didn't, you just watched a few minutes, I once again thank you for that. Like I said, next Tuesday you'll see another horror news update video with all kinds of horror news where I talk about all the latest things. And once again, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to my page below. And I'll see you guys later with another video, a horror news update by Cinepede Geek. Thanks.